You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
They've shut down all gas lines and cleared all power lines from the streets in Washington, Illinois, following the devastating tornado that ran through there Sunday. And now, finally, residents are being let back to start picking up what's left of their stuff. Good evening, I'm Taylor Burrell. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Sabrina Bennett, but there's so much more to sort through that residents are going to need some help. They might just get that help as there have been many groups of people headed down to help in the relief. Several of our own NIU students joined together with meteorology students from the College of DuPage to help assist residents in the cleanup effort. They also passed out water and gave out snacks while many residents dug through what's left of their homes.
Well, if you happen to look up in the sky in the near future, you might see something a little different.
That's right, drones are becoming more and more popular. But as NTC reporter Rachel Edwards shows us, this could be raising some concerns in the community.
Flying model airplanes is a popular hobby for many people. Recognizing them in the sky usually isn't hard because they're much smaller than regular airplanes and they can't fly very high. But will people recognize when one of the latest in flying technologies is flying in the skies above them? Drones. Most people know them as machines that our military uses to launch missiles at targets in the Middle East. But what's stirring up more conversation among Americans is what they might eventually be used for.
A lot of people want to get into domestic drone usage. They want to use it to deliver packages. So for example, right now, when FedEx flies packages from Tennessee to Chicago, it's a pilot in a cargo plane. Well, there's no reason that you need to have, that many personnel in the aircraft.
Talk of domestic drone use is bringing up privacy concerns among American citizens. The fear that drones may be watching them is causing people to have a negative reaction to the idea of drones.
The privacy issue is a bigger issue because it has to do with, all kinds of erosions of privacy that are taking place. We know the NSA is spying on us and listening to our phone calls and gathering our email and creating giant data sets with regards to U.S. citizens, so it's part of that bigger mix.
People's privacy concerns may play a bigger role once drones are allowed to be in the air. With new FAA regulations in the works, we could see drones in the skies above us within the next 5 years. For NTC News, from DeKalb Taylor Municipal Airport, I'm Rachel Edwards.
Thank you, Rachel. And it's a busy week for DeKalb Police in a variety of ways. They are starting to pack up for the big move from the City Hall location to their new building on the Lincoln Highway Street across from the NIU campus. They have a moving ceremony planned on Friday afternoon. Officers have already started taking equipment over to the new building. As you can see, it looks bare now, but by the end of the week, the station will be fully operational. And on top of the big move, police are also coordinating a relief drive for those affected by the Washington tornado.
Police are still investigating the case of a man who was attacked on Hillcrest Monday afternoon. They say 6 to 8 men jumped the victim. Initial reports said attackers used baseball bats and chairs, but no evidence of that was found at the crime scene. The suspects fled the area before police could arrive, leaving the victim with minor injuries.
And watch your cars because a theft ring is at it again. Police are still looking for people who are stealing catalytic converters. The converters are being taken from vehicles parked in businesses on Sycamore Road. According to DeKalb and Sycamore police, about 15 converters have been stolen in recent weeks. Anyone with information should contact the DeKalb County Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers will pay a cash reward for anyone up to $1,000, and reports can be made anonymously.
A new subdivision in DeKalb is going to be built in the coming years after a green light from the City Council.
Thomas Hiley has more on this, on how the new subdivision is taking shape.
There's a closed-off section by DeKalb High School where work is going to be done on the new subdivision. The amount of land that is going to be worked on is 458 acres that will soon be the new community in DeKalb in the upcoming years. It is located north of DeKalb High School on 501 West Dresser Road. The ones who are constructing the subdivision is Shodin Construction. They have been discussing this for over 5 years to City Council, and 5th Ward Alderman Ron Naylor tells us his reason why he chose to vote for the idea.
It's a great location, particularly a location around the new high school and all the other amenities that are offered up in that area of the parks and the open space and the closeness to the university and the attachment to the existing large majority of our existing residential housing is on.
Shodin presented a blueprint to City Council of what they plan to do with all the land. Some of the ideas will range from park areas and townhomes. However, 3rd Ward Alderman Christian Lash was one of two who was against the idea due to past experience in DeKalb.
Housing. There's developments in Cortland and Sycamore that have just a few houses on an empty road that, didn't go anywhere because the houses weren't selling. David Jacobson made a really good point about other developments in town that got started and their residents were promised amenities that they don't have because the development hasn't quite been finished out yet.
Even with the passing, Shodin will not start construction for quite some time.
This whole area to my right will be filled with elementary schools, townhomes, and churches within the next 2 years. The Iron development was recently passed, but even so, development won't be taking place until 2 years from now due to the fact the economy is in a bad situation.
It's estimated that the community will be built within the next 20 years. Reporting from NTC News, I'm Thomas Hiley.
Thank you, Thomas. And a $900,000 settlement has been reached to repair a Keslinger Road bridge that collapsed in 2008. The reason it took so long to fix was because DeKalb County and Afton Township both claimed they shouldn't have to pay for the repairs. This led to a lawsuit filed in 2011 and dismissed Thursday after Enbridge Energy agreed to rebuild the bridge with little cost to local government. Designs needed to repair the bridge began about a month ago. Construction is expected to begin next fall. County officials say that they are a long way from knowing the exact cost of the bridge.
The Feed 'em Soup charity is adding a lunch buffet to help raise money for its free Wednesday dinner. The Soup Kitchen is adding a soup and salad bar buffet every Wednesday through Friday. This is an effort used to pay for the 250 to 400 free meals that they give away every Wednesday night. The restaurant has become more popular in the community, which means they need more money to feed more people. They also added Feed 'em After Dark program last year and are giving away another free meal every 4th Sunday.
Sycamore Middle School is changing the way they stack up their physical education class. And you're gonna love this.
NTC reporter Mark Neal has more on how one of the students turned cup stacking into a new physical education unit.
At Sycamore Middle School, one kid is responsible for bringing in a new unit to physical education class. It's a little bit different than your typical football and basketball. Its name is cup stacking.
13-year-old Jeff Ward stacks cups so fast it looks like it's in fast forward. Ward and the students of Sycamore Middle School were just a few of the 500,000 people worldwide that participated in the Stack Up event on Thursday. The event was part of Guinness Book of World Records Day, but Jeff knows there is more than just putting cups on top of each other.
Improves hand-eye coordination, ambidexterity, bilateral proficiency.
To show how fast Jeff does the cup stacking, we're going to time him when he does the cycle event. Woo. 7 seconds.
As Jeff is one of the fastest cup stackers in the country, he has helped make cup stacking a new physical education unit.
They can work on their bilateral proficiency, which is the ability to use both sides of the body, both hands. The brain is divided into 2 hemispheres.
As Jeff keeps practicing, he hopes to continue to take cup stacking to a whole new level.
Sycamore Middle School says they plan on using the cup stacking unit for many more years to come. In Sycamore, Mark Neal, NTC News.
The 500,000 people that participated in the Stack Up event set a new record. That's awesome.
That is. I don't think I can move my hands that fast. Well, before we go anywhere, let's take a look how the weather is going to be the rest of the week.
Brittany Merlot is with us now. And Brittany, following that tornado Sunday, is this the beginning of cold winter weather?
Well, actually, all weather always fluctuates. It depends on the jet stream and whether it's going to bring us that warm, moist air, which we got over the weekend, or the cold, blustery air that we do have in the very near future, unfortunately. But before we get into that, let's take a look at tomorrow's temperatures. We are going to see in DeKalb a high of 48, and all over the Illinois, we're going to see upper 40s to lower 50s. Unfortunately, it is going to be raining. The rain will push in tonight and last throughout tomorrow. We're going to see in DeKalb about 1/4 inch of rain, and those temperatures are not going to stay here much longer. So for more on the cool down ahead of us, stick with us. We'll be right back.
And a little later, firefighters save lives, but some don't have the supplies they need. That's what led one firefighter to start this page on Facebook, and we're going to talk to him.
Oh, listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
Welcome back, everyone. This morning when we woke up, we saw the sun was out, beautiful skies. We saw a high of 41 degrees today, and tonight we're going to see a low of 37. Look at this. The clouds have rushed in, unfortunately. That rain is out right behind it. If we look at our current radar, this big mass of rain is going to come over us, and it's going to linger over us for the next few days. Unfortunately, we're going to see lots of rain and colder temperatures in the future. Tomorrow, we also have a threat for a rain and snow mix. Temperatures are going to drop as this cold front pushes closer and closer to us, so we do have that chance for grapple, rain, snow, everything. We have no idea what it's going to be exactly, but what's going to happen is we're going to get really, really cold in our area. By Friday night, this cold front is going to push into Illinois, and it is going to drop dramatically. That cold Arctic air is coming down, and what we're going to feel like with the wind and everything else is about 20 degrees. That's what it's going to feel like. Now, temperatures are going to be forecasted in the 30s, but it's really going to feel like 20 degrees outside. Now, with the cold weather that's pushed in and the tornado that happened throughout Illinois, this is a huge, huge effect that we are worried about. We have relief centers for people who are without power and without heat. We have 2 in Washington, 1 in East Peoria, 1 in Pekin, and in Gifford. For any residents that are without homes or without power still, we urge them to go to shelters, and that is one thing that we are keeping a close eye on as this cold front pushes through Illinois. And then the reason this is happening is this jet stream is taking a huge, huge dip down to the south. This is going to pull all that cold air down into our area. It's going to linger here for a few days. What it's going to do down south is cause a lot of unstable air. We're going to see rain, thunderstorms, and such. And off to the west, lucky them, they're going to be in a high, dry and mild. Tonight, rainy. As the rain's going to push in, it's going to continue to rain all throughout the night. The clouds are going to remain in our area. We're going to see about a quarter an inch of rain. We're going to see a low of 37 degrees, pretty calm winds. By tomorrow, the rain's going to still be here with a high of 48 as winds are going to calm down. Then tomorrow night, rain still. Gosh, I wish it would just go away, but after tomorrow night, hopefully it will. We're going to see a low of 36 degrees with gusts up to about 15 miles per hour. Now let's look at my 5-day forecast. Thursday night, rain still. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Now that cold front's going to push through Friday night. As you see, temperatures start to drop to 39, down to lows of 24. By Saturday, the sun's going to come out, but it's going to be frigid and cold. We're going to see a high of 29, and like I mentioned, it's going to feel colder than 29. And look at that, Saturday night, 10 degrees. That is the lowest that we've seen so far this season. So it's going to be a chilly, chilly weekend out. Sunday, temperatures are going to start to pick up slowly, and by Monday and hopefully throughout the rest of the week, we'll see sunny skies, warmer temperatures. So that's it for weather. Let's set it back to the desk.
DeKalb area firefighters have been doing more than just fighting fires lately.
They have been selling t-shirts to raise money to buy a disabled veteran a car. Here's Cassie Alman with the inspiring story.
DeKalb firefighters, Local 1236, are going above and beyond the call of duty. The fundraiser they are doing to buy a disabled veteran a car was started in May of 2009 by the Association of Firefighters of Illinois in Chicago. There are approximately 4,000 firefighters in Chicago helping raise money. The 50 DeKalb firefighters joined the Red Shirt program in mid-August of this year. In that short amount of time, they say they have been very successful. They have sold 3,300 t-shirts in just 2 months.
We actually are on pace to outsell the Chicago Fire Department. They're great friends of ours. It's kind of like a friendly brother rivalry type deal, if you will.
The firefighters wear their red t-shirts on Fridays, which are known as Red Shirt Fridays. These shirts can also be seen around town on residents supporting the cause.
You might be surprised to find out exactly how far these t-shirts have traveled. They've been sent as far as Texas and Tennessee. More locally, they can be seen in St. Charles, Geneva, and even in towards Chicago.
The firefighters feel that they should support and protect the community they work for.
But this is, to me, the core of what we are as firemen, is giving back to the community, whether it be our MDA that we do every year, Muscular Dystrophy Association that we do, or any other fundraising efforts. And then obviously this one, we're raising $30,000 for this cause, has been a tremendous reward for what we can do just to make this person's day just a little bit better for what they have given for this country and for our freedoms.
If the firefighters stay on their current sales pace, they are talking about buying a second car for a veteran. For NTC News, I'm Cassie Alman, downtown DeKalb.
Wow, it is really great to see firefighters protecting their community.
As you can see, firefighting is really about community service, and our guest, Griff Legler, is a firefighter who is trying to help address a different kind of problem with his campaign, Supply a Hero. Griff, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what can you tell us about what exactly is Supply a Hero?
Basically, it's a nonprofit project that I've started, and it's taking equipment and bringing it to less funded firehouses. We kind of have to face the facts right now that the government's not typically helping us, and that's where they're making the cuts. So we want to bring equipment back into the firehouses so we can take care of the community that we protect.
And how did you come up with this idea?
I pretty much just sat down one night and was thinking about what am I really passionate about, and it hit me, it's firefighting, and there's possibilities I want to create within the fire service, and I see this as something that has to be done.
And as a firefighter, how does it personally feel to hear about other firefighters not having the right equipment to do their job?
You know, it hurts us because we always talk about it as a brotherhood. We take care of each other like family, and hearing apparatus breaking down and equipment failing and that resulting and people getting hurt is not something that we like to hear. So this is our way of kind of taking care of each other.
And what kind of reaction are you getting?
Very positive. The appreciation that I've gotten so far is just absolutely amazing. The just public even wanting to get involved and purchase t-shirts is starting to...
Well, thank you for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck, and we hope this starts a little trend here.
Thank you.
Actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. George Zimmerman is now in trouble with the law. George Zimmerman is now in trouble with the law again, and it involves guns.
And hundreds of people injured after a bombing in Lebanon. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
George Zimmerman is out of jail after posting a $9,000 bail. The former Neighborhood Watch volunteer is not allowed to have any weapons. Zimmerman was arrested Monday after his girlfriend said he pointed a shotgun at her during an argument. Zimmerman's estranged wife, Shelley, filed for divorce in September.
Dual explosions in front of the Iranian embassy killed at least 23 people in Lebanon. Nearly 150 people were injured. The attack happened in an area dominated by Hezbollah, which is what the U.S. considers a terrorist group.
Toronto's Mayor Rob Ford's television show has been canceled one day after it debuted. He and his brother hosted Ford Nation on Canada's Sun News Network. Ford has been in the news after admitting to smoking crack cocaine. On Monday, the Toronto City Council voted to cut the mayor's budget and transfer most of his duties to the deputy mayor.
The FFA says it's giving extra medical attention to overweight pilots and air traffic controllers before they are certified. Obese people often have sleep issues, and the FFA, of course, doesn't want its most crucial workers getting sleepy on the job. So overweight pilots and controllers will be evaluated by a sleep specialist. And that's today's World Watch.
When NIU beat Ball State last week, it was almost a sure thing the Huskies would be going back to Detroit for the MAC championship. That's not the case. Tonight is the same situation as last, as NIU travels to Toledo to face the Rockets at 7 p.m. Central for another MAC West showdown. Well, you want to talk about these two teams. What great performances they've given us the last couple of years. This is 2011. I don't know if you remember it. I do. Barn burner at Toledo. Tommy Lee Lewis had 2 kickoff returns to start the game before the offense even got on the field. And then once the offense did get on the field, it was back and forth all night. Chandler Harnish with 20 seconds left hooks up with Perez Ashford. Then NIU goes on to win that game 63-60. Now last year the Huskies held on 31-24 here at Husky Stadium. And you can see the great rivalry between these two, that what they've built over the last couple of years just by the celebrations in the locker room after the games. This is from last season when the Huskies beat Toledo, clinching their spot in the MAC championship, which is going to lead to very similar circumstances tonight in the hostile Toledo environment. Now remember, tune into ESPN2 tonight to cheer on the Huskies. Again, that game starts at 7 p.m. Central Time. The Blackhawks were back on the ice last night, taking on a good but struggling Colorado Avalanche team who was on a 3-game losing streak. Well, no worry there. It was an ugly, ugly night for the Hawks. Scoreless in the first. Brent Seabrook turns it over to Paul Stastny, rips it past Crawford for the go-ahead goal. That wouldn't be the only goal, though. Ryan O'Reilly later centers it to Andre Benoit. Fires from the point, redirected by Gabriel Landeskog. So it's 2-0. Same score in the second. Hawks can't clear the puck. Maxime Talbot centers it to John Mitchell. Crawford ends up getting pulled. Nikolai Habibulin comes in. He gives up a goal, too. P.A. Parenteau lights the lamp. Colorado cruises to end their losing streak, 5-1 the final. Hawks look to redeem themselves tomorrow night in Winnipeg. Other NIU sports, volleyball is looking to win their first opening match in the MAC Conference Tournament this weekend in Geneva. They will take on Bowling Green on Friday. Tomorrow night, women's basketball hosts Bradley at 6 p.m. and wrestling hits the mats at the Convo Saturday against Northern Iowa and North Dakota State. And then the men's basketball team comes to the Convo on Sunday to take on St. Joseph. Action is becoming such a big thing nowadays, it seems. They've been playing these midweek games for the last couple of weeks. NIU Toledo tonight, Kent State, Ohio last night in a MAC East battle where we have our play of the day. Ohio waiting for the punt in the third, down 24-13, and we got ourselves a fake. Nate Serhoon leaping over the defender and then houses it. Takes it all the way, 61 yards for the big man. Just look at the athleticism. Let's look at it one more time. And Serhoon earlier this year broke his leg, so it's a good comeback story for him. Looks like he healed up just fine, making the big leap there. Kent State rolls the struggling Bobcats 44-13 to take our play of the day. And hopefully tonight NIU can come up with some big plays of their own and walk out of Toledo with another victory to be 11-0 for the first time in school history.
Thanks, Eli. Go Huskies.
That's right.
This guy might look like a regular cute black lab, but he's actually a service dog. When we come back, we'll explain how some people may be trying to pass off their pets as service pets when they are not.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
There is a distinct line between service animals and pets. Service animals have a tremendous impact on the people who rely on them, and they need to go places other animals aren't allowed.
But some people have been stretching the rules and trying to pass their own pets off as service animals. NTC's Kozeluh takes a closer look at how people are being impacted.
This is Banjo. She's 5 months old, weighs about 30 pounds, and when she grows up, she's going to be someone's eyes. Jan and Steve Miller have bred seeing eye dogs in the past, but this is the first time they're raising one. Banjo is spending a year with the Millers and going through basic obedience training, but she'll have to go elsewhere for the rest of her training.
I'm sure that we'll miss her a lot when we need to give her back, but you go into it knowing that's the deal.
Service animals assist people with a range of disabilities, from blindness to post-traumatic stress disorder. But lately there's been a disturbing trend. People have been posing their pets as service animals in order to take them into public places. It's illegal, but it's hard to enforce since anyone can buy service animal vests online. These dogs are trained to notice details most of us wouldn't even think about, like which side of the door the hinge is on. If they don't know which way the door is going to swing open, they could easily get stuck behind it. The training also involves staying calm and docile in public places so their users can go about their daily lives. When people pose their pets as service animals, businesses may scrutinize people who genuinely need the help. This man was removed from a U.S. Airways flight because of his service dog.
If your aid is being questioned, it kind of compromises what you need to do on that day. Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes you feel awful because ultimately what that person is telling you is that you're not legitimate as a person because of something that you're using.
As for Banjo, she's got a lot more training before she's certified as a service animal. Whether she will run into any of these issues is anyone's guess. For NTC News in DeKalb, Kozeluh.
Banjo's really cute. He actually looks like my dog at home, but my dog doesn't listen at all, unlike him. But thank you for joining us, everyone. And if you would like to check out more news, visit our Facebook page at the Northern Television Center.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye, everyone.